Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast.
Yeah.
Video game podcast that all of your people out there, I guess, listen to.
People are listening. Animals are listening. Dogs, cats, birds.
Yeah.
Guinea pigs.
Aliens. We know they're out
Dolphins.
We
there.
know they're out there.
We know where they are.
Elephants.
We're going to bum rush them.
Yeah.
Ferrets.
Well,
unless they're listening,
Oh,
then
we're
let
not.
them listen.
Yes.
Pilotfish.
You're fine.
Pilotfish too.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to do down there.
Anglerfish.
Oh, that's what I meant.
That's what I thought.
So everyone and everything is listening.
Yes, as they should be.
This table is listening.
Fantastic.
It wishes it wasn't,
Oh
though.
boy. We have some rules to go over, table. We need to keep a couple things to ourselves, okay?
It's seen some things, man.
Oh man, just keep a level head about it.
Oh,
That's right. I'll table that joke for another day.
man. I'm not going to stand for this. Because I'm sitting. Well, my name is Brian.
Amanda.
They call me Troy.
Do they?
Yes.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Katelyn.
I have a feeling he was waiting for you to say Davidson.
I've knocked out the last name. I'm keeping it casual, guys.
All right. You keeping it casual?
Keeping it casual. Yes.
Like Prince and Madonna, you're just one word now?
And Zendaya. Zendaya. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I still call her Zendaya.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't mean to. It just happens.
It happens. Like I did just now.
Yeah. Exactly. See,
Fixed it up.
like the same person.
Yeah. Is Zendaya in a video game ever?
I don't
done
think
it?
so yet.
Have they done? I don't think so.
They should do a
should.
Far From Home type video game.
Yeah.
Get her MJ in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I like her MJ a lot, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I didn't think I would, considering it was like, oh, it's like a more down to earth, like really weird chick, but then it's like, oh no, you still have like the embodiment of MJ, but you're like this like generation's version of MJ.
Yeah, because the original MJ like would not hold up in this day
No.
and age at all.
Because of sexism.
Yeah.
It was a great time back then, wasn't it?
For you.
Don't worry, not for me either. It wasn't good for me either back then.
It wasn't for me. I was a nerd. I'm a nerd, actually. That was.
Which is why it's a great time for video games.
It's a great time for
Yes.
video games.
This day and
Podcasts,
age.
everything.
2019.
Oh yeah, so let's get started with these games we've been playing, right?
Yeah.
All them games.
Yeah.
So many
Yes.
games.
So let's start with you, Zach.
Oh,
What have you been playing?
a few things.
Ooh.
Like you said, it's been a long time since we recorded, but I got my platinum in Dragon Quest XI.
Nice.
Insane.
110 hours later.
Yeah.
I don't think I played a game that long in a very, very long time.
In
But,
110 hours, you haven't played it.
I've talked about it a few times, so I won't go on about that. But
Yeah.
that game is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Was it
And-
satisfying?
Yes,
Okay.
especially it had that feeling that was similar to. The only thing I could think to compare it to was the feeling I had with God of War, whereas I hadn't really experienced the franchise before that. But then things happen in the game that are clearly massive fan service to longtime fans, but I
Oh.
still felt that impact anyway. And so
That's
there's a
impressive.
big bang ending for like doing everything like I was talking about before, that I was just like, I don't 100% know what's going on, so I was like online, like looking at it and stuff like that. But then like all the longtime fans who have been there the whole time, they were like tears in my eyes kind of moment. It was just so like
Really?
gratifying fan service kind of thing. So it was really cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
And I know I'm not going to talk about it, but Builders 2 also came out. I know other
I'm
people
sure
at the
other
table
people
have
will
played
be.
it.
Yeah.
So I've been on a
We'll
Dragon
touch
Quest.
on
I've been
it.
on a
Yeah.
Dragon Quest high.
Yeah.
But me and Katelyn picked up a few weeks ago. We finally started jumping into it. Judgment on PS4.
Very nice.
It is. It is not one of the Yakuza games, but it's in the same universe. The same. It's the same exact city and everything like that. A fictionalized part of Tokyo.
Yeah. Crime,
And-
drama, beat 'em up, RPG type. Like I
Yeah,
don't really know how to classify
it's
Yakuza.
the same. Yeah, it's the same as Yakuza always. It's walk around through Japan and beat up some thugs because they just want to fight with you for no reason.
Totally.
Hey, that's Japan. We've experienced it, man. I've had to look over my shoulder way too many times.
You've had to take your wife out of certain parts of town.
I have. Well, that's actually true.
Oh, wow.
We were drawn to this one because it's a detective story, which we're always down for.
So you're on the good side of the law, so to speak, this time.
Theoretically,
Well-
in the Yakuza games, you are still on the good side because you're an ex-Yakuza for like
Yeah.
a part of them anyways, but I don't know the whole... I'm not going to get into
Yeah.
that. But this time, the premise is that you play as a guy named Yagami who is a lawyer, very good lawyer, very good at his job, but perhaps too good at it. He ended up defending a gentleman who he was convinced was innocent who was being on trial for a series of killings, and he got him off on his trial. And that very night, he goes and gets arrested because he burned down his girlfriend's home and murdered her brutally.
Wow.
And so he's basically like, I can't be a lawyer anymore. Yeah, but he's
Did he totally lose his name and his...
Well, what I said technically he's a great lawyer. I mean, he did his job. He got the guy off. But he can't deal with the moral reality of the fact that he put a killer back on the street.
Yeah, he's a great lawyer, but a terrible person.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what the premise is. He's like, I can't continue being like educator of law if I can't tell wrong from right kind of thing.
What does he do?
So now the premise is now it's like a time skip, and you have like your own like little rundown detective agency. So you're kind of like just like embracing like the underbelly of the city to like put people away with like through more less legal methods, I guess.
And make sure they have all the evidence so that when the next lawyer comes, they're like, I can't refute this.
So yeah, so like in the first chapter we've been playing through, we're actually assisting his old law firm in dealing with a case where a Yakuza member is now on trial for murdering another rival gang member, and so I'm like doing all of the stuff that the police and the attorneys can't do to gather the actual evidence to get the real.
Is that Batman?
I mean,
I was gonna say it's very reminiscent of the Batman games.
except you're not Batman. You wear a really tight leather jacket and really cool sneakers.
Is that Batman?
Before the sneakers, there was still Batman.
Are you rich?
But no, it's really good. It's actually one part playing it has actually kind of been bumming us both out because I think this is like their most realistic depiction of Japan yet.
Cool.
Straight down to just I don't know. I don't even know if they paid for trademarks, but like there's the Don Quixote and the name brand products everywhere and stuff like that. And I'm just
Nice.
like, oh man.
Those convenience stores in the Yakuza games are always so detailed and pretty impressive. So I can imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. My favorite part is honestly just walking down the street. Honestly, like the beat 'em up parts are like actually just annoying.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, look at the street and these guys. Oh, I bumped into a guy, so now 4 guys want to fight. I'm like, God, jeez, oh man.
Just like Japan.
It was awesome because I was drinking an acai beer, and then we went into the game. When we went into the convenience store, and you could buy the same name brand beer. And then they kept talking about Don Quixote's.
Wait. So you were drinking the beer in real life that you can only get in Japan unless you order it or something, and they're drinking it in the game as well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then
What else did you do in real life? Did you do crimes?
I was actually beating up a Yakuza member, and then they kept talking about Don Quixote's, and Don Quixote has like this stupid penguin as their like logo.
It's
and real
amazing.
quick,
I
clear me
love
up on
him.
Don Quixote.
It's like Walmart, but
It's kind of like that, yeah. It's kind of like it's like
not.
a vertical Walmart.
Yeah. They took a
It's multiple stories. They normally have like 3 or 4 stories.
I'm intrigued.
as someone who knows who Don Quixote is it Don Quixote themed supermarkets? It's just
No.
called Don
It's
Quixote.
it's just called
that.
Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Lord
they-
Quixote.
Yes.
Supermarket.
They have this stupid penguin that I love as their like logo. So they kept mentioning the store, and I was like, okay, that's fine, but we're gonna go there, and they're not gonna show them at all because rights and whatever. No, the second you walk in there, you see signs with the little penguin all over the place, and the big bubbly letters that look just like they do when you go to Japan. It was great.
Wow.
It made me so happy and sad at the same time because I'm not there.
Yeah, Don Quixote pretty much has like everything. It's like it
It's
really is their Walmart.
Like clothes or just
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has everything.
Like windmills?
pharmacy?
Probably they have windmills.
I bought medicine there before.
Yeah, the one that's in Osaka, I think on the roof has a roller coaster.
Is it windmill shaped?
Sure.
To fill the impossible prescription.
Like, I've been in a Don Quixote before looking at, like, chopsticks, and then I turn around, and then there's bath supplies, and then I turn to my left, and then there's kids' clothes, and then I turn to my right, and there's luggage. This is all on the same floor.
Yeah.
Just sounds like my aunt's house.
Is your aunt's name Don Quixote?
Oh no, her name is Dawn.
What a twist.
So twisty.
All right. Well, nice game.
So
What's up?
real quick, I have
Yeah.
one more question about
Okay,
Judgment. So it's from the Yakuza series. Or it's like in the same similar style. Are there any elements that are really different that you can find that are standing out from that, or is it just a better version of those games?
It's not super different, honestly. I would say the only different side is, I guess, is just thematic and story wise. The fact
Okay.
that you're technically being like the cop, even though there's some morally ambiguous actions that you do. You're playing on the side of the law this time, and
Okay.
I really wanted to play out like a detective story. And
Yeah.
there's a few characters I'm not 100% like keen on the Yakuza series. I don't know it that well, but there are a few characters that I'm like, I think he might be like a head of a Yakuza clan in one of the games kind of thing. But other than that, you don't really need to know anything about the other games.
Are there any creepy how do I term this? Jerk off places.
Oh, like the
What's-
sexy photographs.
How can I say
or-
this in a way that's for the podcast? Masturbation
No, I don't.
rooms?
I don't think so. Though I haven't like necessarily like scoured like every building. I mean, there's a lot of convenience stores, restaurants, arcades, the Sega arcades everywhere.
You scoured. You looked.
Yeah. I mean, just
Just like in Japan,
I know
you
what
looked
you're
for
talking
them.
about.
Yeah, because that was one of the main things that kind of weirded me out about the other series.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised just based off the other Yakuza games that there's like certain kind of clubs that cater to that
Sure.
demographic, but nothing really stands out to me with what I played so far. So yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Getting my Nancy Drew fix in before Nancy Drew comes out.
Wait, does Nancy Drew have those same rooms?
In the Japan one,
knows?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And always, whenever you walk in, there's always a fresh set of batteries there for you.
God.
All right.
Moving
There
on.
it is.
Moving on.
All right, well then, Manda, what did you end up playing this week?
I ended up playing Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And I agreed to share my game of the week with Katelyn because
Yes.
Katelyn played just as much as me.
Yes.
So is that also your game of the week?
It is
Caitlin?
also my game of the
Ooh,
week.
so we're gonna have a duo game of the week.
Yes.
All right.
Indeed,
So,
indeed.
so how's the game going? Is it? What are the differences between the first one and this one?
Caitlyn, you take this.
Okay, so I'll take this one because I played the first one more recently.
Yeah.
So first off, when you hold stuff in so you have the inventory and then you have your expanded inventory.
Okay.
In the original, you had to make a chest and it would only hold about 2 pages worth of extra stuff. In this one, it holds like 7,
Okay.
and it's not in a chest, so you get it earlier on in the game. Your inventory slots on your hand, you can hold more because it used to cap at 99. Now I think it's 999. I haven't hit that many yet, but I've gotten close at like 700 and it hasn't stopped, so I'm assuming it's 999.
Okay.
You can pick up items. If you put something down, you don't have to destroy it to be able to move it. You can just pick it up and move it somewhere else.
All right.
You can make plant crops a lot earlier in this because it was like a chapter 3 or 4 thing in the last game. In this one, you get right into it.
Yeah.
You can, let's see. That's all I remember at the moment, but there's more. What do you have?
Well, then again, I never actually played past the first chapter of the first one, so I can't talk too much. But I just built like a whole reservoir and like sluice gates for my farm right now, like an irrigation system. So it's getting real.
The water does work a lot better in this game than it does the
Yeah.
last one.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I have water everywhere. Like they were like
Not
do
like
this
Fort
water
Lauderdale right
thing.
now.
Oh,
Hey.
for our local fans.
Yes.
I guess to preempt for anyone who doesn't know what Dragon Quest Builders is, it's a game put out by Omega Force and Square Enix. It's a role-playing sandbox game. If you took Minecraft, Dragon Ball Z, and a role-play game, and then they made a sweet, sweet baby, this is what Dragon Quest Builders is.
Yes.
That's a sweet baby.
That
It's
is
a sweet, sweet baby.
All right. So how you guys enjoying it though?
I'm loving it.
It's definitely the type of game where I will spend 30 hours and then I won't do one objective in those 30 hours.
Yes.
I'll be like, no, but the green flowers will look better on the east bank, so I should move all 99 of them.
Yes.
And I will do that now.
I haven't moved in the story in probably at least 6 hours now because they told me, oh, you need 5 plots of land to build or to have 5 crops. So I'm like, well, each crop needs its own plot of land. I can't share them. And then, oh, but they would look so nice if I line them up over here, but I have rooms in the way, so I have to move those rooms. And you know what? I don't like how some of this part isn't the same level as the other part. So I'm going to work on like making it most of it this flat same area and then have the waterfall be right next to it. So that's a little higher and it's a problem.
At one point, I Googled the Hanging Gardens of Babylon because I was like, you know what would be look really nice is if I made crops on top of buildings. And I was like, I wonder what that looks like.
If you know, it would look nice if it made one of the original wonders of the world. Let's do that in this game.
Well, another thing that's in this system is there you can have a board in your town where you can post pictures of what screenshots you've taken of your town, including things that you made, and there's already people posting very elaborate pictures.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, my building's a square. Looks like I need to step up my game.
So it's just like a show-off place. Like,
Yes.
hey, look what I made. Oh, that doesn't look anywhere near as good.
Yep. But it's given me some ideas, which is also a problem.
You know, that's what it's for then. That's what it's for.
That's
Sweet.
smart.
Yeah,
That's a smart
it is.
addition.
It is very smart. Do you, so it looks like everything's like separate, or from what I read, it looks like it's separate islands, but like your main place that you build is like still carries over between islands or something like that. Is that correct?
I really liked that as a change because last game, like, I would spend a really long time on one of the separate areas, and then you had like a main space, and I would come back and be like, I don't feel like doing anything here because like I already put all this effort into that other area. I'm just gonna go to the next chapter.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they did differently this time, but I definitely feel more engaged to be like, no, I'm gonna make something huge and elaborate that I'm never gonna use because I'm just gonna go to the next chapter and never look at this again. But
Yeah.
but it's important that it looks great.
Yeah.
Well, we never know. I know I'm definitely not past the first chapter, and I'm guessing you're not either with how distracted you've been getting to.
I started chapter 2 before the podcast.
Oh, you
I couldn't
did?
help myself.
Oh.
I heard rumors of things, and then I was just like, I really want that thing that I can't make right now because it needs a material.
So does it mention that you can go back to the first world after you've done it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the things I did read, that you can carry over everything that you do. It doesn't.
So that helps.
It doesn't completely wipe it out like the first one.
You can't bring items to new islands,
Correct.
but when you go back to the main island, you can bring all your stuff with you.
Okay.
So don't do what I did and then leave with not all of your things, and then have to go back and pick them all up, and then go pick up your before you leave.
Okay.
Very nice, very nice. So anything else you guys, want to talk about with the game?
I ended up playing the first 10 minutes probably like 6 times because we bought Zach a new Switch for this to get this to happen. And so he starts playing and he's like, I'm moving the up button and it's moving me like very slow, but when I go left or right, it makes me go really fast. This doesn't seem right. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I looked, I was like, oh, you're just pushing it wrong. And then we switched our Joy-Cons. He wasn't just pushing it wrong. The Joy-Con was broken. So
Right out the box?
yeah.
Yikes
So
on bikes.
I had to go. It was like 8:49 at night, and Best Buy closes at 9.
Yeah.
We bought it at Best Buy, so I had to wait till Saturday morning and go there first thing in the morning, switch it out for a new one, and then I had to test it out again to make sure it worked, and it was not fun.
Oh, no.
Aw.
But did the second one work though?
Yeah, the second
Okay.
one's working
So
Alright,
far.
good.
so
I
far.
just ordered
Wait
new
for
ones.
the firmware update to break it.
The game's so dialogue heavy. It's not like you can't like skip. So like I was telling Troy that I'm getting a little bogged down by the missions, and I was like,
Yeah.
I know you want me to put down the thing over there. I figured it out by myself. I don't need you to tell me how.
I'll just look at the objective once you're done talking.
I don't care about the story with your grandfather and how he always liked trees. I just want to put it there and move on.
Obviously, this person's hasn't been doing the objective for 10 hours. She just must have forgot or doesn't know how to do it. Let me tell her.
What's driving me a little crazy is that you have a companion who's with you all the time now, and I swear every time I feel like I need to pick something up or hit something, I hit A, and it's like, hey, I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
Is it like, hey, listen? Is it Navi?
It feels like it almost.
Angry Navi.
It's like the bird, the owl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
you think you're hitting B, and no, that's just restarting the whole conversation.
Yeah. Ouch.
They do use the A button too much. They
Yeah.
use the A button for dialogue, and then they also use A button to switch objects, but also A button to open doors. So very often I will want to do something and then do something else.
Yeah.
There are lots of buttons on the controller.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if it gets better later on in the chapter, but at least right now, I'm not a huge fan of the new cooking, where I have to put something on the fire and
Yeah.
then walk away and wait for it to come back and be ready. Because before, it was just, I go, oh, I want to make 99 salads. As long as I have the stuff, I can hit the button and I get 99 salads. Or 99 loaves of bread, same thing.
Now you have to wait.
Now I have to
Yeah.
wait and do them
Gotcha.
individually.
Gotcha. All right, but you guys are enjoying the game, though.
Yes, amazing.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's what I'll be playing tonight when we leave.
Cool. Troy is really happy about that.
Because I'm just envisioning Mandy also doing the same, like on the couch, just on it. Yeah, it's been a wonderful time at the house. So enjoy it.
Nice.
I stopped exercising.
It's a very positive influence on you, I see. All right, well, I guess I'll go to me. This week, I've been playing not very much, but I did crack open my $3 copy of NBA 2K19.
Ooh.
And so I've played the last two, and I like just doing the My Career mode. It's just one of those, let me just see how far I can get. All right, I still haven't completed a full mission or a full season out of one of them.
This is the basketball one.
This is the
right?
basketball
Okay,
one,
okay.
yes. And so I'm like, all right. So like the last one, I was like, I'm going to complete an entire season. I think I got to like 5 games before the end of the season. I just stopped. So I was like, this one, I'm like, maybe this one I'll do it.
Do you make your own team or?
No, you make your own person. So I mean, there's different modes. So the My Career mode is you make your own person, and you're that person the entire time.
So do you play for a professional team or do you play for like the
All right. Well,
made up team?
The previous, so it's the actual NBA, so it's licensed and everything else like that.
But I
so
know for career mode you play for one team and you pick the team. Or?
Yeah, well, the team drafts you. So,
Oh,
so
okay,
depending on how
okay.
well you do previous to that, you will draft into specific teams that will offer you contracts.
Okay,
and stuff like
okay.
that. So the previous games, like the My Career mode, always has like a ridiculous story tossed in on it. Like 2 or 3 years ago, Spike Lee did it.
Yeah,
and it
that's
was
the one I played.
That's the one you played, and
Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
What's up, freak?
Yeah,
To all my freaks
Freak.
out there, frequency
man.
vibrations.
Yeah,
That was one of the best games I played that year.
It was ridiculous. You have a best friend who dies because
Yeah.
it's a Spike Lee
Yeah.
game.
Rest
story.
in power.
Yep. Oh my god, it was ridiculous. So last year was a little bit more subdued, but you still went through your college system and then you went into the NBA. This year, they're like, all right, we have to do something different. So like you like start off, you don't even play college, you don't play high school. It just starts you off with the draft, and you're like sitting there like all excited about it, and you go undrafted. Nobody drafts you, so you're all sad. so then like cuts cuts, and then you are now in China playing for the Chinese league.
That's really cool.
It's pretty cool. Not only is it pretty cool, but all of the voiceovers as you're playing the game is all Chinese.
That's a really cool way to show a different side of the sport, which
And
is
there-
really
And there are no subtitles for the Chinese speaking.
Oh, that's actually really great.
Yeah, so you have a translator that's with you, so he translates whatever he wants to translate to you, but everything else you have no idea what they're saying.
That's
It's
fantastic.
awesome.
So have you gone online yet to see what they're actually saying?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't care enough. So then, like you start with the Chinese team. You play a couple of games with the Chinese team, and then you get traded to like America. And so like this, I think it was like the third game. So I was like, it was around like 2 a.m. I was like, all right, let me just play this one last game, and I'll go upstairs and go to sleep. So I play my game. Like, all right, cool. I didn't realize that after that would be an hour-long cutscene until the next game.
They have a word for that. It's called a movie.
Yeah, that's a movie. Not even a good one. It was a movie.
You're really selling me on this game
Oh.
right now.
I ended up going upstairs at 3:20 in the morning because I played the game and then it was the hour-long cutscene.
Yes.
It was it was at the point where I was just like, come on, I just want to be over with this, but I need to follow the story. Come on. So then like if basically it's like you're in China, then like they trade you to the G League, which is like the minors of the basketball league here. So I got traded to Los Angeles. Like you show up like, oh sweet, I'm in the Lakers. No, it's the G League's Lakers.
Yes.
So you don't even realize it.
I'm loving the
And so
direction
then,
they're
like,
going on
so
this
then,
game.
like, throughout this entire sequence, you start off in China, you get traded to America. You're like, all right, sweet, I'm in America now. Then you get traded to Podunk Town, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, for
is there-
food truck access.
and this is all guided. There's no choices.
There's a couple
or-
of choices, but even then, they're they're just like superfluous. They're
Okay,
just like, hey, do
okay,
you want to hang
flavor.
out with this guy? Do you not?
Okay.
Anything that's a major story beat, they're still going to force you into it anyways. So you get shaded into the G League, you do play a couple of games there, and then finally you get brought up into the NBA. So that's where I'm at now. It's quite ridiculous. It's not Spike Lee ridiculous, but it's ridiculous.
The gameplay is still real tight.
Yeah, this gameplay is real tight. There's just a lot of controls though. Like
Yeah.
there's like so many where it's like, oh, now I have to call for an individual like screen. You're not just going to do it on your own now.
But it's all so planned out.
Oh, it
though.
is. It is.
It's one of those games that for me is like kind of oppressing with the amount of detail they put into the controls to try to fit onto a controller.
Yeah.
But if you dig into it, it's, I don't know, it feels really great. It
Yeah.
makes basketball better.
Yeah,
Like
it
outside
does.
of the game.
And then they have Anthony Mackie's one of the actors in it.
Oh, nice.
Haley Joel Osment is one of the characters.
Okay. Yep, I'm in.
It's
And they play
ridiculous.
with you.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yes,
they don't play
Haley
with,
Joel Osment, dunk.
they don't play with you. Sorry, no,
I'm out.
they're side characters, but they're hilarious side characters.
Okay.
As soon as Haley Joel Osment walks in, you're like, that's Haley Joel Osment. You don't even have to start talking. I know that's you. Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie walks in. That's Anthony Mackie. I got you. That's the Falcon. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's been a fun game. It's ridiculous.
And you like crazy pay to win stuff? I know they had some.
Yeah, they still have the virtual currency, so that's how you
Okay.
level up your character. I'm not liking that as much.
If you don't do the multiplayer stuff, though, it doesn't really matter.
Well, your character, they changed it last year, so now your regular character development is also changed by that. So like
Yikes.
right now, I'm like my character level's like 66 overall, but like all of it's in 3-point shots. So I'm doing 3-point shots great. Everything else I'm terrible at.
Like he can't dribble, but
Nah.
you don't got to. Just
don't
throw
have-
it to
just-
him.
just
put
throw
him in
me the rock.
Put him in the net.
So yeah, that's the game I've been playing this
Are
week.
you using your name?
No, I'm using Seth, and then I'm using my EVE Online last name, which is Togari. So
Ooh, that sounds like a Game of Thrones character.
yeah, it is.
Seth Togare.
Yeah, so that's the name I'm using. But your name in this is AI. They haven't told you
Sure.
what it stands for yet, but you're AI.
Sure.
It's ridiculous that your girlfriend also calls you AI, even though she knows it's a nickname that you made up.
athletic individual.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's the original angel. That's what. All right,
Artificial inspiration.
All right,
That's
I'm
what I
on board
call
with
it.
that one.
done. That's it. That's what it has to be now. All right, so Troy, what did you play this week?
All
Round us
right,
out.
I've been playing some Dr. Mario on my phone, which a few of us have been playing as well. Our producer Joe's been
yeah.
killing it out there.
She has.
The Mario game is great. It's kind of like a Tetris, but it's way different. Similar in style, but not quite.
And then it's not Dr. Mario at all, though.
And
the
it's
original
not
game.
like the original Dr. Mario.
No.
One of the biggest differences is in the original, the pieces fall from top to bottom, and you have to clear lines and clear colors, and kind of like a match 3. The original match 3.
Yeah.
But on the phone, since it's a phone game, it actually floats to the top, which is really weird at first.
Yeah.
I actually hold my phone upside down when I play.
I hear you, but doesn't it get weird though? It's definitely made to like just go from the
It
bottom
makes
to
more
the top.
sense to me playing it upside down.
Okay, just
I'm
to
also
see
a
it.
Tetris nut, so.
Right, so you can own on that.
Oh, quick thing. The
Yeah.
Splatfest was this weekend.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the last one.
This
Oh, for
past-
Tetris?
So yeah,
Oh,
this
for
past
Tetris, yeah.
weekend for
Yeah, it
Tetris
was.
99.
What were the
that
two?
just reminded me.
What were the two
I think black
things?
and white.
No,
No,
For
that's-
Tetris 99.
For Tetris 99 was just to get the skin. This weekend is the Splatfest.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, we can talk about that during the
Yeah.
news.
cool.
But that just
I
popped
mean,
in my head.
that's basically it for Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun game. I thought it was going to be. I was a little afraid because in single player you have 5 hearts, and when you run out, then you can't play anymore. So I thought, or if you have some friends, you can give each other hearts, and that's nice too. It's a nice competitive thing where it's like, oh, Zach's 2 levels ahead of me. I gotta get down on these, do 3 more levels just to be ahead of him. But what's nice is that there's a multiplayer mode, which is endless pretty much. You can just go in there and play, and it's fast paced. And I'm actually having a lot of fun doing the multiplayer stuff because you cannot flinch, you can't blink. It is pretty hardcore, and right now Joe is killing it in that respect. She's like 300 points higher than me, and I thought I was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I think it's a fun match game. I think it's competitive. I think the characters look fun and cool in it. So I look forward to continuing to knock off some time doing some mobile games.
Nice.
Who did you pick when you could pick?
I went Bowser.
Okay.
I mean, it's Bowser.
Did all three of us pick Bowser?
Yes, we all picked Bowser.
I picked Peach.
Which is a smart move. I mean, because now you're the only one who's not Bowser, I guess.
They're gonna kidnap your ass.
Yeah.
We're coming for you. I really want to get Ludwig.
Oh, yeah.
Von
Oh, yeah.
Bowser.
Yeah.
So I'm spending all my points trying to get new characters to get Lud,
Nice.
my boy.
He is the best. He's the best Bowser.
He really is.
So, good hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best. The best.
He really is.
So talented.
But the main game I'm playing, as always, is Overwatch. Because why wouldn't I be playing a game that's 3.5 years old that I've been playing for a long time, a team-based shooter that I literally should probably be playing Days Gone or Borderlands and finishing those because I have other games to play, but instead I'm playing this. You know, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Well, I am, because they've added a lot of fun things. And I won't go into everything right now, but one of the coolest things they've added to Overwatch recently is a replay system. And pretty much what that does, it saves your 10 last matches and allows you to go in and look at those matches from any angle. From your teammate's angle, from the opponent's perspective. It even gives you a free camera to just roam around as the action's happening, slow it down, speed it up. And this is going to get super Overwatch nerdy. For me, this is the biggest curse ever. Last night, I finished playing the game. You know, we're playing with some friends. I signed off. I was like, great, gonna look to get my loot boxes and move on. I spent another hour just looking at two clutch games that we played to see how we pulled it off or how we lost. Mm-hmm. It's changed my approach to the game in the sense of learning how to get better. So that now, when I go in to look at these replays, I look from the perspective of my opponents to watch me and to see what I'm doing. And then when I'm in their position, what I would do to get out of it or how I got to them successfully. So I know next time. This is super. No one should play this game this way and not get paid.
Yeah.
You said the internet has also been using it for internet justice.
Yes. They're calling it replay justice. So there's a little bit of a scary side to this. And it popped up for me a couple days ago when I was telling everyone. I was looking at a game actually with you, Brian, as we were playing. We had an amazing game. There were 6 of us playing. It was great. It was on the map Gibraltar. We were doing great. I went in afterwards and I looked at that game because there was all 6 of us. And I was just seeing how we did. I saw how I did. We have a friend who's really good at one of the characters. So I watched how they played it to be like, oh, let me get some tips on that. Mm-hmm. I related that to when I played the next time. And they were like, oh, so who's good and who's bad? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm here for.
No.
I'm not here to try and like be like, oh, this person sucks. I watched the replay. I'm not like trying to spy on people's games here.
But the internet is.
But the internet is. So a new thing has been happening in the Overwatch community called replay justice. Now, Zach, you may have played some team-based games out there where you have some players on your side who may be a little bit, I don't know what's the word, toxic, maybe a little abusive. Maybe they like to blame their team for everything that goes wrong in the game. Well, lucky for us in Overwatch, we can now see if that person is just all talk or not.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so there's been some videos that have come out with the recorded of the dialogue of you get to hear people being like, oh, this person's trash, oh, I'm carrying this team, everyone is messing up but me. And then they replay it from his perspective to see him like missing shots, falling off the map. Like, it's so vindicating. And
It's amazing.
It could go real wrong. I could see people getting, I don't want to like out people,
Bullying.
but bullying.
Internet bullying.
You don't want a negative to spawn another negative. But I have seen it in a nice way where people have like blurred out the names, and instead of trying to like shame someone, they're just bringing up like awareness of like, hey, don't be this way anymore, because if you can't back it up with amazing gameplay for how you're talking, we're gonna know.
If you don't wait for your team and then you run in and then you're up against 5 opponents and then you die, it's not your team's fault.
Yeah.
Stop blaming the healer.
So what's amazing about this to me is I'm kind of hoping that this will transcend out of this game for other games, like where there is that mentality of no, everyone else is wrong but me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, League would explode.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So who were you watching? Who were
This is
you?
what I didn't want.
That's why I asked it.
No, I watched this all. There was an amazing play that me and Brian had where I was Moira and you were Reinhardt. And in the moment, I had a big super move, and I was able to pull it off. And at the same time, an enemy did another move that would have destroyed me. And I didn't know how I survived. So when I rewatched the scene, I saw that him as Reinhardt last minute pulled up his shield to not only save my life, but to continue my super move to then decimate the other team. That's something that I just didn't see while I was so into the game. But with that replay system, it was like, whoa. And you can slow it down slow motion to see exactly when you're pulling it up. You may have saw in the replay, I like zoomed towards the dragons and then zoomed back, to my doom. And I was able to watch it in slow motion just unfold and seeing how we all work. It's super cool.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
Very nice.
Very, very cool.
Also, Max sucks. I'm just kidding, Max. You're really amazing. You're an awesome player.
He's okay. I mean, he's not 4 gold medals good, but
Yeah. Other than that, the summer games came out for Overwatch, so we have new skins. They have an amazing Torborn skin where he's a beautiful Swedish man with lovely chunky legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some sweet castles on his whatever the heck those things are.
Yeah, some sandcastles on there on his pistons.
Pistons.
And then some news about Overwatch.
Yeah. So I'll segue into our news segment. News. Hit snooze on that. Overwatch announced that they're going to have role locking now in all of their games. So originally it was people thought it might have just been for the Overwatch League because they thought, all right, well, GOATS has been the 3, which is 3 supports, 3 tanks, is just completely taken over the meta, at least on the high end.
Just
so
everyone
for the league, everybody's doing that.
It made the games a little boring to watch because everyone would pick the same heroes.
Yeah, it was a mirror match almost every single game. Every now and then you'd have Sombra thrown in there, but that's what it was. So people are like,
the DPS are the fun ones.
Yeah, and DPS are the fun ones, which was the original season, or the last season. And it was, not that this isn't fun to watch, but it was hella fun to watch.
Yeah.
Just a Genji come in there, wreck everything. And then to have an opposing Widow take down that Genji, followed by the rest of the team. So, it was way more back and forth versus, look, their Reinhardt died. Now that everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So people are like, all right, they're changing it for the Overwatch League. This has been speculation for a while now. Well, they came out with a video that it's not just the Overwatch League; it is the entire game.
Yep.
So it's not just comp. It's going to be quick play. Yep. It's going to be even some of the arcade modes.
And so what this means is that you will have in your team always 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 2 damage people.
Yes.
And with that, instead of just queuing up for a game, you will pick that before you start a game. I want to be someone who's going to shoot a bunch. You pick that one. I want to be someone who's going to defend a bunch. You pick that one. I want to be someone who's going to heal a bunch. You pick that. And then it'll match you in a game for you, which is pretty amazing.
It's pretty interesting. And then it's not just that, but for the comp matches, before you used to have to play 10 placement matches, and then it would place you in your gold, silver, whatever. Now, since there's now 3 different roles, you can now queue for each one of those roles, and it's 5 placement matches.
Okay.
And so you have a different skill level depending on which one you choose.
And it rates you differently.
Yeah, it rates you differently.
Like, I'm a really good Lucio player, and that's great. Like, if I can play at a higher level of Lucio, but say in a team all of a sudden I need to be a Reinhardt. It didn't take into account that I'm not as good as a Reinhardt as I'm a Lucio, so it's going to match me with people in the past with where I am as a Lucio. But I'm not a Lucio Reinhardt. I'm not as good as Lucio as I am, or not as good as Reinhardt as I am Lucio. So it was always a problem with matchmaking in that sense. But this is a way where it's like you'll have different skill ratings for each one of the classes, so you'll be more properly matched.
And it'll fix that problem where you get into a room and then there are 5 DPSs and 1 tank, and you're just like, I guess I'll be a healer, but we're all gonna die, guys.
Overwatch has been struggling on that front for a while now. Like, I play with our friends every night, and we go into a match, and it's just like, this isn't fun because everyone wants to be the same hero, doesn't want to think about the team. Yeah. And so we play the random hero version so that we don't have to deal with that. But now this is a way, hopefully, if it takes, I could see people being like, I don't want to play Overwatch anymore because of this. But if it does take and people keep playing it, I think it's going to make the game so much richer and more actually diverse.
Yeah.
I will say League does something similar to this. I don't know
Really?
about the placement matches, but there's a style of play where if you're playing just bots, you can pick whatever. It doesn't matter because you're just playing against the computer. But if you're playing against other people, there is a mode, at least there was last time I played, that you could pick, I want to play a support. So it would match you. So there's a team of 5. So I would be the support, or a team, 5. I'd be the support. No one else can pick support. And then there'd be a jungle, there'd be a top, there'd be a mid, there'd be a damage. So you would be able to pick the one of each role.
Gotcha.
And it was helpful, yet it was slightly annoying when you were playing certain roles that people didn't want to fill. So whenever I was playing healer, for example, I could get easily into a match because everyone needs a healer. No one wants to play healer. But if I was playing an ADC and a damage, I would take forever because everyone wants to play an ADC.
Right.
So
It's going to be interesting.
It will. It definitely will. I really do also hope that they also allow you to choose any role, like just to have it go whatever, like just to be able to choose.
Just
like,
play
like,
somewhere.
yeah. I don't care. Just I would just like to get into a match. Oh, cool. I have to be a healer, or I have to be a support, or I have to be a tank. All right, that's fine.
That'd be cool if that's what quick play was, because then it would actually be quick play. Is you don't get to choose. We're going to throw you into a thing, play that thing.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to find that out. They start beta testing it August 13th.
Correct.
So they're going to iron that stuff out. They may
Yeah.
have that at that point or not, but I think it's a good step in a good direction.
Same.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. But but if you do like how it is now, will also keep that in the arcade, where it's going to be quick play classic.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can still choose whatever you want.
And the league is going to do that for the next stage.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, they
They're
will.
going right in with it.
Yep. Yeah. They,
So,
and
yay,
that was
Spitfire. We may have a chance now.
yay mayhem.
Go Florida. Go London.
those outlaws, guys.
And apparently they actually left it up to a vote, and almost every single team actually voted to implement the rules.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they
I
put
didn't
it to
know
a
that.
vote. If they didn't vote it in, they wouldn't have done it. But
That's
an
cool.
overwhelming majority of them chose to do it.
I think
I'm sure
that's what
everyone but the
makes-
top 3 teams.
I think that's what makes League so interesting, is that it isn't just about playing the game well, it's about playing the game and adapting. Because every season so far, all 2 of them, they've made like a major change mid-season, and then the team who wins is the team that can best adapt to that change.
It's like, here, play basketball. Oh, this month, instead of basketball, you have a rubber ducky. Make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it with one leg. And let's get to some quick Switch news. They're releasing some new Joy-Con colors. So, hooray.
I want them.
Yeah, so it's going to be purple orange and then blue light yellow.
Ugh.
And
The purple
it's,
orange got my heart.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like the orange looks like Fanta, or not Fanta. It looks like La Croix orange. It's like somebody whispered orange into that color, and that's what they got.
I might be more okay with that. I'm just imagining like a bright purple and a bright orange, like the purple orange of the red blue that they have, and I was like, I don't want that.
No,
or the
it's
green
like-
pink. I'm like, oh.
like
They don't-
Andy, I wish one of our wedding colors were whispered orange.
Yeah, it's like as pastel orange as you can get. The Easter Bunny left it off. That's how pastel it is. And then also they're going to be doing a quiet new refresh, I should say, of the Switch in August. So it's going to have more battery life.
That's true. But
So they don't know. They haven't discussed how it does. So
you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
yeah, the speculation is that there's a new graphics processor in it that takes less power.
Cool.
So
No, this time they just remembered to add that little piece of foam the first time.
that's what it was. Yeah. Darn.
And
So
the Switch Lite was announced since the last podcast.
oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was officially announced.
Nice.
The Switch that doesn't switch.
Right.
Yeah.
The Switch that is only handheld.
Yeah. It's just gonna be called the Held.
Comes with some dope colors.
It does,
Yeah.
and it's also going to have improved battery life, but
Good.
not as improved as this new model. So the original Switch model, you could play for 3 hours on Breath of the Wild. For the quiet refresh, it's going to be for 5.5.
Ooh.
So that's how much of a increase in battery.
Who's
it is.
getting that new Switch?
If we
Producer
didn't
Joe
just
is-
buy,
Yeah, my wife will.
if we didn't just buy Zach a new one, we probably would have. But
Yeah, it is what it is. And then let's see here. Cuphead has an animated series coming
Yeah, Netflix.
from Netflix.
Yeah.
It's called The Cuphead Show.
Yeah. Shock.
Yeah.
They did say that some of it's going to be hand drawn,
Yeah.
which I thought was nice. And
Yeah,
nice.
obviously not all of it can because,
Yeah.
Take
it's
forever.
Netflix. Yeah.
Right.
Considering how long the original game took to come out.
Well, Netflix Animation Studios are working on it
Yeah.
themselves, so it's happening in-house,
Yeah.
so the game makers can continue to make their games.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll take it. It's going to be just a fun kind of kid/adult show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cuphead
Yeah.
could be really great.
Yeah.
Good episodic content. Each episode's a new boss.
Yeah. Very, very nice. And then
Grim Matchstick comes back.
and then Sea of Thieves got its first monthly update. So it's going to
Ever?
start. Yeah, ever. Yeah, no. Since its anniversary update, it's now going to have monthly updates. So it's got its first one, which I think is it's called, what is it, Black Powder Stashes. So that there's new content now for you guys, for you 10 people still playing Sea of Thieves.
I hear the numbers are growing.
It is
I hear
actually,
that
yeah.
game is a slow burn
It is a slow burn.
to success.
Our roommate doesn't even play anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll come back to it. Tell him Black Powder came out. Dauntless, its new season started. Whereas last season, its cosmetics were all ninja themed.
Okay.
This season, it's all pirate themed.
That makes sense.
Makes sense. So it's a good segue from Sea of Thieves into Dauntless. So yeah, there's that. And then lastly, some sad news. Kyoto Animation had one of its headquarters or one of its studios had a fire, which unfortunately 33 people did not make it out,
That sucks.
which is pretty terrible. There's still no reason given for the guy who did it, or for the
It was
person.
intentional.
It was an intentional
Yikes.
thing.
Yeah.
So people are thinking it was a disgruntled employee, but nobody knows for sure yet because it just happened.
All the
So
best to the
yeah, I know to everybody
families.
who was affected by
Hearts
that.
and
That's
feels.
terrible. They did Free, which was the swimming anime, and then also the Melancholy of Suzuhari. I'm terrible with names, so it's that one, and then also Full Metal Panic. They did a bunch of different series, so hearts go out to them.
Indeed.
Yep. And then so that brings us to this week's.
You know, Brian, I missed lunch today.
Oh, did
know?
you?
Yeah, I'm just got a little grumbly in my tumbly.
Did you?
There was only something I could I don't know, snack on. or-
I might have the cure for that.
oh, what's that?
Cowbell? No, it's gonna be our this week's tasty topic. What a segue from sad news into tasty
It
topic.
had to go hard. There's no
It had
way
to
out.
go hard.
It
Yeah,
had
we
to go
gotta
hard
just
with
rip
it.
off that Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I wish everyone could see Zach's facial expression right now.
Yeah, we all went nom 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 nom.
Man,
nom. He face palmed.
You know what? I really don't want to be the one that has to follow that up. So who's got this week's? Oh, it's Zach. Zach, what's this week's tasty topic?
So we're past the halfway point for the year, and I thought it would be fun to just hear what everybody's game of the year so far is. What
GOTHY. Game of the half
exactly.
year.
what game has made the biggest impression on you so far, and then maybe talk about what we're looking forward to the second half and maybe beyond.
Awesome.
We won't limit it. I
Okay.
guess.
Awesome.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I'll start off this topic. How
Okay.
about that? My game of the year so far is Outer Wilds.
Ooh.
It's such a surprising game. Like I've played a lot of really good games this year, and Outer Wilds is just one of those indie games that is just it's just crazy how good it is that you have to figure everything out and the story that goes along with it. It's wild.
That game seems really special.
It is very much just a like it's kind of like how you when you play I'm already terrible with this. Whenever you play like To the Moon. Like when you
Okay.
play To the Moon and you're experiencing the story and,
Right.
and everything that's going with it. It's like that, but you are discovering it. So it's not being fed to you in a chronological order or in a specific way. They just have all these things out there, and then you just discover it.
That seems like it makes the story very personal.
Yes, it is
since
very much so.
You're dictating the story in a way instead of
Exactly.
it being given to you.
Yeah, so even if you find something that you weren't supposed to find until later on, you're not going to know what that is. You're just going to
Yeah.
go, okay, this is a piece that I'm sure is going to fit in somewhere. And then as you go back and then you start going, oh, that's this way because of this. And then you go a little bit longer and it's like, Nope, no, it's not. So
This is a puzzle.
yeah, it's a puzzle. It's a story puzzle. And
Story
it's,
puzzle.
It's amazing.
That's cool.
It's amazing. So that's my game of the half year
Nice.
so far.
Okay.
And what are you looking forward to?
Forward to.
I have a list of games if we want to save that for the second half.
We can say that's the
Okay.
second half. Let's
Okay.
do that. So Amanda, what's your game of the half year?
I hate to do this because I just started playing it, but Dragon Quest Builder is definitely my favorite thing that I've played so far this year. Admittedly, I don't think I've played very many new games. The first half of the year, I was replaying all of the Dragon Ages because we got the teaser trailer, and my amazing husband bought me 5 Dragonlance novels so that when the next game comes out in 2029,
20XX.
I can be obnoxious. Did you know? But I'm gonna put my vote in for Dragon Quest Builders.
Okay, nice. Troy?
Yeah, looking back at this first half of the year, I got a lot of games I still have to finish, but of the ones that I have spent a lot of time with, not Mortal Kombat, not Anthem. My favorite game this year has been Apex Legends.
Nice.
And it's a game that just from the story of it dropping out of nowhere, me seeing a trailer on my ride home from work and being like my car sped up just to get home to download this. It seemed like there was finally a battle royale that was for me. And an Overwatch, slash game kind of in the battle royale sense. And it was a great game, and I got real good at that time when everyone was playing it. That whole experience of it definitely factors into it. Being able to win overall at least once was amazing. And then even still, going back to it, I played last week, and it's still fun to play. I'm not good, but I think that's a testament to the game, as if like even just getting in there and not winning is still a rewarding experience is amazing.
Nice.
Not just to count, not only the fact that I think it's implemented things that are already starting to spread to other games. Its pinging system, I think, is game defining.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
even genre defining, industry defining. Borderlands 3, I even read earlier, is adding a ping system that's like Apex to Borderlands 3,
Yep.
which can only be a direct like comparison, or them looking at that and being like, oh, we need that in our game, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think Apex has a lot going for it, not just from a personal level, but also in an industry level. Yeah.
Very nice. Zach?
So this was my idea, and then I realized I haven't beaten that many games that come out this year. So that was really.
It doesn't have to be what you've beaten. It's what you've enjoyed.
You spend a lot of time with.
But I could narrow it down. It was definitely between Sekiro, from Soft's latest game, but I didn't quite give it to that just because it feels almost like, as much as I enjoyed it, it feels almost like an in-between game where they were trying out new things. It wasn't quite like Dark Souls was for me. So I just for the sheer of what they accomplished, I would have to say my game of the year is probably Resident Evil 2 Remake. Just because I was just so thoroughly impressed at how they managed to give a modern update to an old classic game and still 100% honor the way the game was back in the day, but also make it extremely viable and better in, I think, almost every single way possible for the 2019 audience, like 20 years later or whatever it's been, something like that. And it's a very lean, fast, and just enjoyable game. There's really no fat in it. You pretty much can just run through that game quickly if you wanted to. There's not like a whole lot of stuff that's just like superfluous in there. It's just like, just constant fun and thrills. And with the 2 campaigns and the way they supported it after the fact with a bunch of story DLC and whatnot, I just is really impressive what they accomplished.
Mr. X.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Come
And
on.
Give
all
it
the
to you.
all the memes that came from also.
Absolutely.
Mr. X in a thong coming after you.
I haven't seen that one.
No, that one's
Hello. You know what I'm doing this evening?
It's Mr. X.
Arrested Development joke. Thank you, Mandy.
That's misdirection.
Ah.
So Katelyn, round us out.
Okay, so I want to give it to Dragon Quest Builders 2, but I haven't, even though I've thrown a lot of hours into it, I don't feel comfortable without finishing it, saying it is my game of the year so far. So I looked at my list of games, and I played a lot of games, and only one other one came out this year.
I know it. I know it.
No, 2 other ones came out this year, I should say. And so I'm going to have to give it to Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh, see, I thought it was going to be Tetris 99.
I was going
Yeah.
Tetris 99.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
a lot of people thought that's really close as well. And actually, I didn't put that because it's an ongoing game.
Okay.
Okay.
So I felt like that's cheating. It's not.
Oh, I
but-
see.
You have a lot of rules.
Fine.
Take that one
In my
personally
brain-
for my Apex Legends.
Yeah.
See.
In my brain, it doesn't work out that way because I'm just
Right.
going with like, I feel like the game needs to have credits roll, and then it's an
To be a game?
to not to be a game, but for me to consider it. I'm not saying everyone.
So
I
when will you
understand.
ever consider it if it doesn't have credits?
What?
You have to consider it at some point.
It's a great game of service, but it's not a game of the year.
Troy, it's not a game, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, there we go.
Gaming is a lifestyle. Welcome to the podcast.
So you name the option. Yeah, I'm sure you can go into the options and hit
Yeah, I'm
credits.
sure there probably is.
You can hit that anytime you want.
You
in
can hit that
Apex.
anytime you want. So really, it's finished.
So then, what's the point if you hit the credits from the beginning?
For their hard work.
Yeah.
You choose when the game is over.
Exactly.
Well, I choose that's not over yet, so I can't choose that as my game of the half
Okay,
year.
that's
Okay,
fair.
fine.
So, yeah, I'll have to give it to Kingdom Hearts 3. I really enjoyed that in the story mode, and it wasn't that great. Like, fighting-wise, it felt too easy, but that's fine. I just wanted an easy, fun game, and it took forever to come out. And I really liked the Elsa Land, and everyone was complaining about Let It Go, but I really liked that. And I really liked the Toy Story world, and there's so much good. It made me so happy.
Okay.
It was a happy game.
That's what
Dragon
matters.
Quest Builder will probably beat that once I get more into it, but I don't feel comfortable saying that now, again, because of my own self-imposed rules. I'm not putting those rules on anyone else.
I look forward to playing KH3. By the way, can I borrow Dream Drop Distance?
Oh
sometime?
yeah,
yeah.
I keep forgetting it.
Oh, it's okay.
We'll bring it next podcast.
Obviously, I have other stuff I can't be doing. So
He's got replays to watch.
shh, I'm watching you, Brian.
Oh no. He knows my secret. Just aim. And spam R1.
Okay.
All right, so now let's go into our what we're expecting, what we're looking forward to.
So I have a list. Do you want me to read off the list?
I have a main thing. I think.
Yeah, I
Kinda
got
just
mine,
picked
but
one.
we can.
Okay.
Yeah, let's pick one, and then
Okay.
if we don't have one, we can go off your list.
Okay.
Cool.
So Troy, start us off.
I'd say the main game that I am looking forward to is Ancestors: Human History, the experimental game from the creator of Assassin's Creed, where you play as a primordial human, and then you have to survive in order to evolve. And it's just you as a monkey in the forest trying to collect as an ape in the forest, trying to collect food, and then trying to stay away from things that are trying to eat you. And the more you do it, the more you evolve and you learn senses. And it's all about a human learning about how to survive, and that actually instigates your evolution. It could be horrible, but I don't care because I love people taking chances, and Patrice made Assassin's Creed, so I feel like there's a lot of chance to be had here, and I think it could be really special.
Yeah, and then you're gonna get trapped in a ball, and then it's gonna be called Ape Escape.
Or Super Monkey Ball.
Ooh.
Sorry, it's an ape. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But either way, I'm in.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Manda?
I would have said Pokemon Sword, but this weekend I spent 48 hours playing Let's Go Eevee with a 7-year-old, and I think I need a break. So I'm going to go Shadowkeep Destiny 2.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't think I was going to buy it, and then I played some Gambit, and now I'm like,
Yeah, now you're
I
in.
should get that. Also, I look so pretty now. So I think I might make that investment.
Very
Nice.
nice, very nice. I also am looking forward to that, but what I'm most looking forward to is Luigi's Mansion 3.
Ooh,
Not for me to play it, but to watch my wife play it.
Luigi.
What about
Yeah.
watching your wife play it is enjoyable for you?
Because she's so happy
Oh,
when she's playing it.
Aw.
It's interesting to see like Joe with a smile, considering she's married to me. I'm used to the scowl. I'm not used to a smile, so it's nice for a change. You know?
October 31st.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
announced recently. That's when it comes out.
Yep. Yeah.
A
So
good day for that to come out.
good all Halloween. So
Yeah.
I might do a little Gooigi with her. Who
Ugh.
knows?
Okay, moving
Yeah.
on.
Moving on.
Is Lewis here? I didn't realize.
I didn't know that. Man.
That was a Lewis joke.
It was, but no, I'm looking forward to that. It
Right on.
looks like a lot of fun. So, brings us to you.
Okay. So I couldn't
Everybody
pick-
can hear me point to you, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Well, at least you remembered her
I
name.
did remember her name this week. It was
Well, no,
nice.
that's why there was a pause there. At
said
least
you.
Caitlin. So I couldn't pick just one.
Okay.
So I picked 4.
Wow.
So she has standards for game of half year, but
Right.
she doesn't for this portion. No,
See if
she's
these
got to have all of
qualify
them.
as
Because I
games.
I
here.
have high hopes for all of them
But you-
for different reasons.
But you haven't seen their credits, so they're not games.
These
yet.
are
no,
less
but they will not
games.
have credits.
All right. So which ones
Okay.
are they?
Borderlands 3.
Okay.
Good
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
Life is Strange Season 2, because the last episode will come out, and then I will count that as a full game once the last episode comes out in December.
Okay.
Okay.
The Nancy Drew game, because...
Of course. Well, yeah.
That's number 1. How's that not number 1? No. There's nothing else on this list for you. It's Nancy Drew. There's no 4.
The reason why it's not is because that's not coming out this year.
Dang.
little
Boom.
bit.
Take that, Drew.
And then, even though it doesn't have a solid release date, just this fall, the second Bendy and the Ink Machine game.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So really, you do have 4 of them because maybe one of those will come out this year.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 will probably be the only one that doesn't get pushed.
Yeah.
So,
And that's a probably.
yeah.
All right, Zach, what you got?
So since she cheated, I'm going to cheat a little bit too.
Oh man.
I had a clear cut answer, but technically it comes out next week, so I'm not even gonna. But the impressions came out for the new Fire Emblem game, and people are loving it. So
Yeah.
I'm actually getting really hyped about it.
Right on.
I'm really excited to dive into it. But
I'm gonna wait for you to talk about that before I make a decision. on that.
I suspect that's going to be the next. Everybody keeps saying that it's the kind of game where you start playing that you're 40 hours of your life are gone. You don't know what happened, kind of thing. So we'll see what happens.
Like my bachelor party.
Yeah. That was a great bachelor party.
But the big one, I have to say, just because of, I don't even know if it's because of the game itself or the story around it, but I need to play Death Stranding as soon as
Oh,
possible.
Yeah.
We all need to know.
A guy's
Yeah.
crazy enough to say he invented a new genre of video game. I even if it's terrible, I'm hyped for it. I need to see.
But not only does he have the balls to do it, but it's also plausible that he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. Is he crazy?
It's possible.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's still like, I don't know what the game is, and they're like, he clearly said it's a Strand game. What don't you understand?
It's so easy. It's right there in the
Carry a
name.
baby, and then shadow things come after you when they feel like it, and then you get a really tall ladder.
And then Mads Milkinson's
You're
there.
stranding, gosh.
And then you yell at the president, and something happens. And
And then there's an asteroid headed towards Earth, and you have to blow it up.
I've just noticed by talking to you all for this segment how much money I'm spending for the rest of this year because I want to play everything you all have talked about.
Yeah.
This list I wrote down is a problem because there's a lot of games.
There
on
is
it
a
that
lot
I'm
of
like,
games.
oh crap, I forgot that was coming
And again,
out.
half of them might come out this year. Who knows?
Yeah.
Either way, they're coming out, so it's going to be expensive.
We didn't even talk about Link's Awakening.
I was
No.
going to say,
Yeah.
looking at the list, shout out to
Or
that.
Fallen Order, or any of
There's
those other things.
there's
Yeah.
a lot. I have a full list
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
crazy.
There's a lot I'm looking forward to.
It's
but
crazy. So,
Outer Worlds.
Yeah, Outer Worlds. I mean,
Outer
they're-
Wilds.
Control. I'm excited.
I mean, it's
for
easy to get
Shenmue
mixed up.
3.
It really is. So yeah, that brings us now to our Dragon of the Week.
Boom, boom, boom. It's the dragon of the week. Yeah, don't feel meek.
Uh-oh.
It's the dragon of the week of this week
Oh.
of the week.
Ooh. This week's Dragon of the Week is brought to you by Manda.
By Manda. That's me.
Yay!
Hooray!
Hooray.
Dragon of the Week is our look at an industry professional, just kind of throwing some spotlight, a little love on the people who make the games that we talk about. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
Dragon of the Week.
Yeah.
And this week we're going to talk about an epic music wizard.
A
Woo!
wizard.
A wizard.
Ooh.
I called him a wizard. His name is Inon Zur. He's a composer.
That sounds like a wizard name.
That's why I think he's. I personally, after I tell you about this, you're going to agree. But he's worked on 9 films, 13 TV shows, and 52 video games.
Jesus.
Wow.
He's done Prince of Persia: Warrior Within, Prince of Persia: Two Thrones, Naruto: Rise of the Ninja, Naruto: Broken Bond, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Soul Calibur 5, Dragon's Dogma, Lord of the Rings: War in the North, and most importantly, Dragon Age 1 and Dragon Age 2.
Oh.
So I'm assuming this person's also 110 years old.
I think he's like 57. Like he's,
Times 2.
He's been busy.
Yeah, he's been real busy. Jeez.
That's an impressive list.
Yeah.
Those aren't just good soundtracks; those are good games.
Yeah.
Yes, and actually that's why I brought him up, because he hasn't just worked on some of my favorite games, but I actually think the games were my favorite because he worked on them.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it until I started going through some of the games that I liked and noticed that he had worked on many of them. But he does something really interesting, is he works with orchestra, choir, and like ethnic instruments, so he does a lot of really unique music. Like if I look at what I really enjoyed about Dragon's Dogma, it's that the sounds were very different from other video games. He said for Fallout 3 he even took the sounds of people like screaming in agony and then changed them to put them in the music to make it like an eerie sound. He said no instrument made the noise he wanted it to.
Sounds like a
So he
weird
created-
violin.
Yeah, because they wanted you to feel eerie.
Ugh.
And that's actually
I'm shuddering just thinking about that. Gosh.
and that's actually what he does to make the games better, is that he says he always plays the games before he composes music for them.
Okay.
Because most composers will create music for a scene or for an environment. But he will make music so that the player feels what they're supposed to in that moment. And if I think back to these games, if I think back to Dragon Age 1 and how like the big impression that game made on me at the time, it wasn't just the characters, although they were amazing, and the dialogue. It was the music that accompanied those moments, as you felt like you were there and this was happening to you.
That's
so-
cool. And then, so it sounds like, so for Fallout 3 is the one that you said that he did those sounds for.
For the
whatever,
screams, yeah.
For the screams. So it's like the world's first snuff, like, soundtrack. Like,
He's just like pinching them.
yeah. They're actually still in his basement.
Releases a scorpion. Hit record.
We'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Yeah, he really wanted you to feel the agony in
Yeah.
the music.
That just says genius to me.
It does. Like, that's great.
So the best part about this that I got that you guys would really enjoy is that he started his career working on Digimon. and
Digital
he-
monsters? Digimon are the champions?
Yes.
Nice.
Huh.
And he wrote the music for 360 episodes of the Power Rangers.
Oh my god.
So this guy's been places.
Yeah, he understands my generation.
He truly is our soundtrack. Like,
Now that I think about it, a lot of those games have to do with like an ensemble cast.
yeah.
Where it's not really just like a single player, like a BJ Blazkowicz just doing his own thing. Like those are all like War of the North and Dragon Age, and those are all kind of group things. Fallout, not so much, I guess.
Well, you still have a companion that roams around with you. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's still, it's not just you.
Yeah. He gets ensemble.
Yeah.
Yes, and he also gets massive games. He's done
Mm-hmm.
MMOs before. He does a lot of like the Dragon Ages are like 50, 60 hour games, but like Dragon's Dogma was like a 100+ hour game.
Yeah.
So there's lots of content. His most recent game is Blades, the iPhone game.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. The
He
Elder
did-
Scrolls Blades.
He did the music for Blades, and I guess not recently, but he won an award, which is why he came up on my list. He won Best Original Song in a Video Game in 2009 for Dragon Age Origins.
What song was it?
It was "I Am the One."
Ooh, I'm gonna get that on my Spotify later.
If you haven't heard it,
Summer
I would
jams.
highly recommend.
I am the one. Done. Playlist. We'll start a Taste of Dragons playlist.
So
I am the one. It's the only song on the playlist.
Well, we have
The one song.
Just the one.
one winged angel will be on there.
Yeah.
All our other composers build that wall. Well, no, not now. Let's not. Maybe not now. Yeah,
It'll
love
be
me
great,
Sebastian.
just for a different reason.
Yes. We get a lot of likes on our Spotify playlist.
So special thanks and hearts to Inon Zur for making 52 of our video games sound amazing.
Yeah, snaps to that.
I mean, there's going to be a lot more than he probably did like 3 more by the time this podcast comes out.
Like I said, he's like 57 or
I
something.
just
like that.
looked
He's
him
gonna
up.
have
He's
plenty.
54 years old.
54. I
Jeez.
apologize.
Yeah. That's a long career ahead of him.
Yeah.
If he chooses to still do it.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, considering how fast and how long he's been going, I don't see why he would stop
Yeah.
now. He's like, no, that's good. I'm good. now.
300 episodes of Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers,
Everything
yeah.
else is just
Everything else is just downhill. Like, just all easy street. Well, very nice. Very, very nice, Manda. That was this week's Dragon of the Week.
Dragon of the Week.
Yeah, right. Very, very nice. So that brings us sadly to the end of this episode.
Oh.
Oh, womp womp.
We like to end every episode on a down note.
Down notes. Well, the episode ends, of course.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of everybody's week. Well, as always, we film live upstairs inside of Tate's Comics. Whoop whoop. Powered by our friends, the 3000 Brigade.
We are them.
We are. Oh yeah, some of us are.
We're our own friends.
We are. we have friends.
We have other friends. I mean, you haven't met them, but
No,
that doesn't mean they don't
they're
exist.
They're in Canada. It's fine. They still speak English and French. And you can find us online on the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the TikToks.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
so which brings us to Instagram. What was our ranking of dragons?
All right, this Tuesday we ranked Grim Matchstick, the dragon from Cuphead. Really great animation style, really quirky move set. Can literally grow 2 extra heads and start fighting you. An amazing part in that game.
Oh yeah.
He's so
Definitely
cute.
one of the ramps of
Yes.
difficulty in,
Yes, it
in
is.
that game, and also so cute. We ranked him number 8.
All right.
Right below Singe, who does a lot of the same things he does, but has a little more of a legacy.
yeah, he ate a He ate a princess.
Straight up.
Straight up ate a princess.
And then on we had this week on Gaming History, we got to look at KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, which you
whoa.
all love.
It's
Oh, yes.
amazing.
And
Oh,
I'm
yes.
really sad I didn't have an Xbox.
I also never played it before.
Oh,
It's-
okay. At least
it's
we're
worth
together on
It's
this.
worth it. It's
Yeah.
on the PC now.
It's on your phone too, actually.
yeah,
What?
it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that
that's
came
crazy.
out July 15, 2003. So
Yeah. Yeah, it made me feel
16
old.
years ago. Yeah.
Made me feel real old.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that wasn't that. Oh god, that was 16 years ago. My
But,
brain.
as usual, Instagram has its own little fun articles here and there. We have some fun Friday stuff with TikTok and some extra content. So check it out for some interesting content outside of the podcast.
That's right. And
on a
also give us
weekly basis.
some reviews and whatnot on the podcast
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sites if you
5
want.
star preferably.
Yeah, if
But
you like
be
us.
honest.
I mean, if you can be honest, you can. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a solid 2.
Be true to you. Are we a podcast if we don't have credits though? Like, do we need? Are we just an ongoing service?
We have the
How do
words
we-
that are credits, the description of the credits.
So every episode
Episode
is
has
its
its
own
own credits.
podcast,
Yeah.
its own singular podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we actually make a new website every single time.
It's Dragons 1. It's Dragons 2.
All right, well, good episode, everyone. So once again, my name is Brian,
My name is Manda.
I'm Troy.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Caitlin.
and that was this week's Taste of Dragons. Take care, everyone.
Nom 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 nom.
Nami nom nom.
Yeah.